Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales, service, and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene. Hey everybody, welcome to A Culinary Journey, where I'm going to take you on a journey to Greece. That's right, we're going to do a couple of Greek meze items that I'm going to put together as an entree that you could serve at home. What I'm thinking about doing is taking this onion and zucchini, shredding it up and doing these little zucchini fritters, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these mushrooms and pearl onions. We're going to make a nice red wine and onion reduction with the mushrooms. So you're going to have mushrooms, you have zucchini fritters, that's on the plate. And then we're going to take some cod or bacalhau and we're going to pan sear that. We're going to add some fresh mint and diced tomatoes. Really simple, a little bit of lemon, a lot of love, and a great entree to go into that whole Greek feel. So guess what? Your culinary journey to Greece starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. So let's get on this journey to our Greek mezes turned into a dinner that you'd have here in New England, right? So we're going to start with the most important thing that we have to get started, which is our zucchini fritters. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take a clean kitchen towel. I'm going to set that up right here. Get my box grater, and now I'm going to grate myself some zucchini and some onion for this, for my fritters. And basically, I just want to grate enough zucchini, probably half of this, and I already have another half grated. We'll just add it to it. I want to get it nice and fine, so it's going to make a great fritter. We'll get that out of the way. We get an onion going over here. Let's get all this off. Cut this in half, yeah. So what I'm going to do is make these fritters. We're going to put some flour in them. We're going to have little breadcrumbs, some fresh nutmeg, and an egg to hold it all together. We're going to deep fry them. We're also going to do some mushrooms with red wine. And then we're going to do our cod with fresh mint and tomato. I'm going to put it all over together. It's really incredible. It's going to be a wonderful dish to do. Fresh mint, tomato, a little lemon juice. Can't go wrong. All right, let's grate our onion. And these are great. These type of fritters would be great for just about anything. But the thing about onions and zucchini that you have to remember is they contain a lot of water. And if we're going to be frying, water and oil don't generally mix, and especially in this situation, where there'll be just too much water in there. So we have to get rid of some of that. So this is what we're going to do to get rid of it. We're going to fold up our kitchen towel, roll it up, and then watch how much water starts coming out. I mean, there's a lot of liquid in your vegetables like this. So we're going to just pour some of that out. Of course, we're not going to get rid of everything, but that's what the breadcrumbs are going to be for, and the flour. So we'll just get enough out, dry it up just a little bit. Get rid of that. And we'll pull out, because everybody keeps their other bowl in their oven. I don't know how that happened. And we'll get that with the other stuff that was dry. And we'll start putting that together. So all I really need for this is about 1 egg, some breadcrumbs. And this is our panko breadcrumbs. We're going to put in a little Parmigiano cheese. That's going to just give more flavor. Some all-purpose flour, and that's just going to help it bind together also. And then we're going to grate in some nutmeg. On the other part of our box grater, we have one that's really, really fine, and that's going to work the same as a microplane would work, or a nutmeg grater, and we're going to grate some nutmegs. Flavors like nutmegs, a little bit of oregano, those are flavors you think of when you think of Greece and Greek flavors. But make sure when you use nutmeg, you don't use too much. First of all, you always want to use the grated one, which I got all over the place. Woohoo! But you don't want to use too much. Like sage, it's very pungent. So when you use too much of it, it's just going to take up so much of the flavor in what you're doing. Just a little bit goes a long way. And I'm going to cut some fresh oregano to go with that. I'll just throw that right in. All we have to do is just chop it. It came right out of the garden this morning. And voila, we got all our flavors there. So this is what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to get this ready because we're going to put it together in a minute. But what I want to really get started also is our mushrooms. So we have a pan going here with mushrooms. These are actually poached in butter and red wine. So we're going to pop a little bit of butter into the pan. We have our pearl onions that we'll be using with that. And our button mushrooms. We're just going to cut up our button mushrooms into small pieces. Now, I like to show people how to cut button mushrooms because it's really important. Best way, too, is start them on cutting them in half. If they're really small, you don't have to do it this way. But when you just keep your knife down and you start cutting the mushroom, when it starts getting to you're too close to the edge where it starts tilting, you just flip it over. So watch. Come down. At this point, I flip the mushroom. See that? Flip the mushroom, and then I just keep cutting. And then I have it good. If you have a mushroom where you're going to cut the whole thing, and you want bigger pieces, cut one edge off, and then do the same thing. Just come on down, but you still have to flip it over a little bit, and then you can finish it. There you go. We got our butter cooking. I mean, it's really starting to boil now. What we're going to do is add our pearl onions to that. And this one's nice and easy because all we're really doing is getting the butter going, getting the mushrooms in there, and the onions, and then we just forget about it. We have our oil also heating up for our fritters, which we'll do in a moment. So, mushrooms, mushrooms, mushrooms. Some nice herbs that go in there. I'm going to put a little bit of dill into this mushroom mix too. And what I'm going to do is put that dill in a little bit at the last minute. It'll come out really nice. Let's go right there. Okay. These mushrooms will break down to almost nothing, so it's a perfect amount to get into here. We're going to season this with a little salt and pepper and get that going. All right, so this is where we're at. I got my fritters that I'm going to start working on. And we'll put a little bit of lemon juice in our mushrooms and a good amount of red wine. And then these are just going to be forgotten about till they come down together. Okay, a little bit of red wine. Just a little bit of red wine. I should have left just a sip for me to finish, but I didn't. And then we'll pop some dill in there right now, and I'll pull apart, and we'll use some for later on, too. All right, so we got our mushrooms going. I'm going to start working on my fritters and start getting those together. Once I get my fritters together, we're going to fry them. So I have to do the fun part of taking my zucchini and my onion. We have the egg in here. We have the breadcrumbs and the flour. We have all those great flavors, and we're going to get those together. So let me finish getting these ready. When we come back, we'll fry up a couple, get that started. We start moving on to the cod, what we'll do with a little bit of mint and tomatoes. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. Hey, this is what we're doing, right? So we have a codfish dish that we're going to be doing today. We have some fresh North Atlantic cod that we're going to pretty much just cook with some fresh tomato and mint. Real simple, a little olive oil. We're going to take care of that. But that's our last thing because it's going to cook really quick. But we are getting ready the other meze parts of our plate. Now in Greece, they eat with a lot of meze, little plates all over the place. They do it in Spain. We do it in Italy too. But the idea of this, so I'm going to bring it all together on one plate where we kind of have a full meal ready to go, but all little portions that are ready to happen with that. So we've done where we're cooking down our mushrooms over here. If you check these out, we got mushrooms cooking down in red wine with pearl onions. We have a little bit of dill in there, great flavors, touch of lemon juice, right? Just cook that down. We'll forget about it. By the end, it's going to be this nice, rich mushroom dish. Here I have my little homemade fryer put together where I put some it's actually a vegetable oil and olive oil blend. That's easy for me to say. And we're going to get that cooking. And that's where we're going to put our little zucchini fritters. If you remember what I did with those, basically I took the zucchini and the onions, breadcrumbs, flour, one egg, a little bit of nutmeg, and we're just going to put those all together. Now the key to this was making sure that I got the excess water out of the zucchini. So let's do this and get these into like little pucks, right? So little hockey pucks. We'll get those ready. We'll get these two in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just love that sound. And I have my little spider here, which I could get them out of it with. These make great appetizers too if you want to cook them up different ways. Almost like, look, little mini footballs. We could do one of these. And they're great for dunking. If you remember zucchini sticks when you were a kid, I used to love doing doing it this way where I do little fritters, and instead of a zucchini stick, I have a whole little fritter here. And that'll be for me to enjoy while I'm getting ready the rest of our meal. And then you just do a quick flip. They cook very quickly on the inside. We're going to warm them up in the oven just a little bit too if we need to. But they cook very, very quick. We would want to get them to a golden brown. Don't get them too dark because then you're going to burn them and you don't want to do that. So come on, buddy. All right. And there's my fritter for my snack. Best thing about cooking, you can always make your own snacks, right? All right, let's get this guy out of the way. Let's get our fritters going. Now I'm talking about our fish. Now, with the fish, really all I want to do is cut myself some fresh tomatoes, and we're going to pan-sear the fish. The cod, what's great about cod is that working with it, it's a light, delicate fish, and it cooks quickly, and it really takes on all the flavors around it. In Italy, in Spain, in Greece, cod is used a lot. You'll find it dry as bacalà in Italian, which is a dried salted cod, or you'll find it fresh as merluzzo, a bacalao in Greece. Now, with cod, it's prevalent, especially in the northeastern part of the United States. You'll find it everywhere. Again, takes on all the flavors around it, flakes apart nicely. Great fish to work with, and it's a great base to what we're doing. So we're going to julienne our tomatoes. I'm just doing the outside of the tomato. Remember, too, let's go back to our fritters. Don't want to forget about those guys. Let's get our fritters out of here. And then our mushrooms are coming down nicely. All right, let's get these guys over here. Hey, come on off. You know what we'll do? We'll use my tongs instead of my spiders because my spider is sticking. We don't want that to happen. All right, get all our fritters out. Now the tomatoes that I'm using with the cod dish, it's going to be really interesting. Again, a julienne of tomatoes, cutting them into these little strips. And I'm using just the outside of the tomato because I have most of the meat. The inside of the tomato we're not getting rid of. We're using that into our sauces later on because I pass my sauces through a passatutto, as my grandmother used to call it, the passatutto, which is basically a food mill. And I never want to get rid of the inside of the tomato because it brings a lot of flavor when I make my own sauce. So sometimes I'll use a canned tomato, or a lot of times for these really good San Marzano tomatoes. But I have all these extra of the inside. Or they go into my vegetable stock, that too. All right, so I have everything I need right here. We have our tomatoes. We have our cod. We have our fritters all done. And we have our mushrooms cooking down. So get a little oil in our front pan. Make sure our burner goes on. For those of you who know this show, you know my front burner is always a lot of fun. There it goes. And we're going to season our cod real quick. Salt and pepper on both sides. If my salt, where would you be? It's somewhere, not here. We'll season it on the next segment part of it. All right, so we're going to get our cod in. We're going to start letting that cook on this side. So this is what's going to happen. We're going to sear the cod off on one side. We're going to flip it over. We're going to create that sauce. We'll do that after we get back. Our mushrooms are going to cook all the way down. When we come back, tomatoes, mint, a little bit of lemon juice to create a sauce for this. Very, very light and fun. We're going to have this flipped over. Don't go away because you want to see what this finished product looks like. See you in a minute. Hey everybody, welcome back to A Culinary Journey. Let's go into what we're doing here today, right? So we got our fritters done. Yummy fritters. They're going to be delicious. I got my little taster right there. It's going to be just for me. Over here, over here we have our mushroom and onions. The wine's kind of reduced down. It's gotten into the mushroom, the onion. We have all that flavor. We have some fresh dill that started into there. We're going to add some fresh dill right at the end when we're going to serve it. Then finally, we're going to do our fish here. So I have the salt and pepper that I was so needed before. We're going to season this side. And again, this fish cooks quickly, so it just needs to sear a little bit on either side. And then watch how it flakes apart. You've got to be really, really careful with fish like this. Look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. We're just going to have all that flavor. Then we have our fresh mint and our tomato. I'm going to pop in the tomato into the dish as the fish is finishing cooking. We just want the tomato to just get a light cook on it. And I'm going to salt that a little bit. And then our fresh mint. This is all about light flavors. You don't need heavy sauces. You don't need tons of seasoning on things. You just need fresh ingredients. Sometimes it's about getting out of the way, right? Good ingredients, you get out of the way. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to roll up my mint and do a chiffonade. So let me show you how that works real quick. Just roll it up. And then we'll just cut right down. And we have these nice ribbons of fresh mint, and then the flavor, I mean, this just came right out of the garden this morning. I picked it right before the show. We're able to get all those great flavors, and that's going to go right over the top. Wait till you try this. So we'll let those all sit together. We have the olive oil in there. I'm just going to get a little bit of lemon. Come with me while I get myself a lemon. There we go. And we'll just top it with a little lemon. Fish with lemon, that's the way to go. I mean, just a sprinkle of lemon on it is going to go a long, long way. Woo, here we go. All right, so let's put these dishes together real quick. We have our zucchini fritters. So we have a little bit of fried and richness to this dish. And then our other meze that's going on this dish is our mushrooms with our red wine, some color to it. Look at that. That looks beautiful. And have some great flavor. And then we take our fresh fish. We'll take our fresh fish and we'll just pop it right on the side of that. And we have what you would consider 3 little mezes or small plates together as a full meal. And that's all you really need for great flavor. I love the flavors of Greece, the flavors of the Mediterranean. They just go so far with doing very little to it. Treat your ingredients right, they're going to treat you right. Hey, this is our culinary journey through Greece for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you see us next time on A Culinary Journey. Brought to you in part by Monadnock Flooring and Decorating, offering quality sales, service, and installation for over 35 years on Production Avenue next to Subaru of Keene.